everybody, welcome back to another episode of Throwback Thursday, and tonight I'm going to be opening these two wax boxes of 1987 Fleer, and they are both authenticated by the Baseball Card Exchange as unsearched and untampered with to make sure that we get all of the best cards from this set. Every now and then I will buy a wax box for Throwback Thursday, and we might miss out on the big card. Like, for example, what happened when we did 92 Bowman and 89 Upper Deck. We were looking for the Mariano Rivera and the Ken Griffey Jr., so doubled it up and bought two. We have some sponsors, which I'll be telling you who they are as I go through the boxes. First off, the cards we're looking for here. The best one is a Barry Bonds rookie card, which you can usually pick up for a few dollars at a card show or a card store. If you get it graded, though, and it comes out to a PSA 10, that card usually sells for $100 to $130. So that's what we're looking for. There's also some other good ones in there. Barry Larkin, Bo Jackson, Will Clark, Bobby Bonilla. So we'll see what we find. Let's get this started. We're going to go with this box first. We'll call this box number one. So I'm just going to use my scissors here and open this up. It's always cool opening these authenticated boxes. It's like buying a brand new box of old cards. All right, so here we go. First box. There's the inside. You can check out the pack wrapper. Nice blue pack wrapper. And it's also nice that we get 17 cards instead of the usual 15. I mean, nowadays, a lot of companies only put 5 to 10 cards per pack, so that's pretty nice. 17 cards for this era was pretty good. A lot of companies from the junk wax era usually put around 14 to 15 cards in there, but there's some years that had 17 cards in there, like 87 Topps also put 17 cards. So here we go. Top left, this entire stack of packs is going to go to John A. We're going to open all these up, and then I'm going to send all the cards to John. So hopefully he can pull something good. Let's check out the back before I start ripping these open. You can see there's an offer there for a collector's album for $7.95. I never did that. Never sent away for anything when I was younger. I was only 6 years old when this set came out, so I wasn't really into collecting yet. It's a nice Eddie Murray. I started in 89, but I always did like 87 Fleer. For some reason, the blue border, I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. Kind of unique. So I did have the 87 Bonds rookie card growing up. Ended up getting it in Connecticut at Rock Sports Cards. There is a Jim Morrison with a little weird like printer error on it there. So far, no crazy rookies or Hall of Famers yet. Looks like we have an insert card coming up here. It is a Mike Easler All-Star Team card. Back in the day, you'd be pretty excited if you pulled an insert card like that. Nowadays, insert cards are basically in every pack. Here's the back of the card, by the way. You can see that's kind of standard for the Fleer set during this era. A lot of the cards looked kind of with that setup there. Same basic design, different color schemes for different years. There's a Willie McGee. Benito Santiago, he won the Rookie of the Year in 87. Tom Seaver, that's our first pretty good Hall of Famer all by himself. I think the Murray was on there with Glenn Davis. Wade Boggs, another Hall of Famer. I always put the Hall of Fame cards in sleeves when I send these out. All right, next up, we've got Tom Browning. He threw a no-hitter. Bruce Sutter, Hall of Famer. Still no good rookies. People like it when I point out Keith Hernandez, especially Mets fans. So there's a Keith Hernandez in there. Tommy John. Danny Darwin. Also, Fleer gave you these stickers. You can see also little nameplates that you could stick on your binders. A lot of us probably had a baseball card binder growing up. I had two of them. There's a nice Nolan Ryan. One of the all-time greats. Look at that nice long career. And he still pitched for many years after that, too. Dave Kingman had a nice career, 400-plus home runs. Dave Righetti. Steve Lyons, Tony Perez, he's a Hall of Famer, and Alan Trammell, another Hall of Famer. So John's getting some Hall of Famers, but nothing of great value yet. All right, let's see if we can pull Bonds here, or at least a Bo Jackson or Jose Canseco. Mark McGwire is not in this set. Carlton Fisk, that is a nice one. Got to buy the update set if you want to get some of the other nice rookies like Greg Maddux. All right, let's see who is in this pack. There's 9 packs per stack, 36 packs per box. Joe Carter hit that famous home run off Mitch Williams. Carmelo Martinez, I remember him. He played for the Pirates for a little while. I didn't like him, though. For some reason, I was not a Carmelo Martinez fan. I don't know why, because I was a huge Pirates fan. There's Terry Pendleton, 1991 NL MVP, beating out Barry Bonds. And that Bonds is the card that I'm after. I want to find the Barry Bonds rookie card. Tony Pena. There's another All-Star team card, Todd Worrell. He was good back in the day. Nice closer for the Cardinals for a good many years. Who else we have here? Wade Boggs and Keith Hernandez. Superstar special card, Joel Skinner. Last pack for John A. By the way, you can usually buy a box of authenticated Fleer for around $60 or so. With shipping, it might be another $10. That's the bad thing about buying wax boxes. There's Darryl Strawberry. He was a huge star back then. Don Sutton, Hall of Famer. Bad thing about buying junk wax, Eckersley, Hall of Famer, is that the shipping sometimes, the shipping is more than what the box is worth. All right, we're going to go to the top right now. James M. So a lot of times when I buy junk wax boxes from, the 80s and 90s, I always try to buy them at least in bulk, at least like maybe 3 or 4 boxes at a time. That way I only have to pay for like one flat rate box. Roger Clemens, he's featured on the front of the box. We'll also show you the box cards. There's cards printed on the bottom of each box. We'll check those out. See who we got. Eddie Murray, another Hall of Famer. So this wasn't too bad of a pack. I think Clemens will be in the Hall of Fame one day. Just probably not for at least a few more years. I think a lot of voters are going to want him to pay the price and wait it out, along with Barry Bonds. Their vote totals are pretty much identical, as they both were linked to PEDs. There's Clint Hurdle. He looks really young there. He's the Pirates manager. He's been the Pirates manager for 9 years. And yes, I do know a lot about the Pirates specifically because I'm a Pirates season ticket holder. I grew up near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and still live here. All right, let's see here. Next pack. Let's see if we could pull anything out of here. Bob Melvin. Billy Hatcher. Looking for Billy Hatcher today at the Reds Pirates game. Didn't see him there. Kind of disappointed. Billy Hatcher has been a mainstay with the Reds forever. And it looks like he has been fired with the new manager coming in of the Reds, David Bell. They brought in a lot of his own coaches. And Hatcher was always a mainstay with the Reds, always trolling around in the outfield, marching around with his bat, picking up the balls during batting practice and hitting them back in towards the ball boy near second base. And he's gone. So almost the end of an era. No more Billy Hatcher. Corey Snyder, Steve Garvey. So still no Barry Bonds or Bo Jackson or Jose Canseco for that matter. Kind of stinks. There's a checklist. I was never a fan of checklists. Pete Rose manager card. Pete would be banned from baseball soon after. Bob Horner, 4 home runs in 1 game. Man, he looks like he's tired from trotting around the bases. His face is all red. 4 homers in 1 game. That's a cool card. We have an Angels prospects card. Devon White was a good one. It's his rookie card. He had a nice career. Kirby Puckett, another nice career there, Hall of Famer. Rafael Belliard, another part that I did not really care for that much. Cal Ripken Jr. he was one of my favorite players growing up, even before the streak, all that hubbub with the streak. I probably started liking Ripken around 92, and I even had a whole binder dedicated to Ripken and buying all his cards. And right behind it is Ryne Sandberg, another one of my former players. In fact, I still use a glove almost on a daily basis that's a Ryne Sandberg model from 1992. So Ryne Sandberg was another one of my favorite players. I had a Sandberg binder in like 90, 91. And then a Ripken binder after that. So really cool. They're back-to-back, two stellar players and Hall of Famers. Kind of weird that some of these cards have these little like printing lines on them. Notice that from time to time. Mike Scott was a beast for a while. So George Bell, all-star team card. Kevin Seitzer had a pretty nice career. And that's about it for that pack. Still no Barry Bonds. Good thing I bought 2 boxes. Always feel incomplete finishing a box without getting the big hit. There's an Ozzie Smith. I liked Ozzie Smith a lot. The Wizard. Dale Murphy. Ruben Sierra rookie card. That card was worth a couple bucks back in the day. John Kruk. Ozzie Guillen. Fred Lynn. Next pack. We got 2 left for James' stack here. Still no Barry. Buck Martinez, he's an announcer. George Brett, getting all kinds of Hall of Famers here. Tim Raines. Tony Fernandez, Mike Sosha. Let's see who we got here. Jeff Calhoun, Doug Sisk. All right, last pack for James M. The odds of finding the Barry Bonds probably are around 1 per box on average. There's 660 cards in the set. That was kind of like the standard for Fleer during the this era. Just like Topps, the standard was always 792 cards. Fleer did a little bit less, 660, which is, that's good because it increases your odds of finding some of the better players and rookie cards rather than trying to bloat the set by adding another 100-plus cards. That was it for James pack. Now we're going to Darren C in the bottom left. So I'm going to take this bottom left, open all these packs for Darren. Hopefully we find the Bonds. These cards, by the way, you can see they're pretty sharp coming out of the pack. Sometimes cards with colored borders like this, it's always tough to keep them completely PSA 10. Just note 1971 Topps, for example, is almost impossible to find cards with nice corners. So these coming right out of the pack with their dark blue borders, especially at the top, they're looking pretty good. Jamie Moyer, I liked Jamie Moyer a lot. I was really hoping that he was going to pitch until age 50. He almost made it. I think he pitched until 49. So, nice long career for Moyer. Just came up short of 300 wins. So, when he's eligible for the Hall of Fame, he's probably not going to get that many votes, but he might get a couple charity votes. There's a Jose Canseco, Jim Rice, and Kirby Puckett, AL pitcher's nightmare. Yep, those guys were definitely good back in the day. Mike Stanley, he was pretty good. Dale Swaim. There's Mickey Brantley. That's Michael Brantley, the Houston Astros star. That's his dad. And Jack Clark, Larry McWilliams. All right, let's see if we can find anything for Darren here. Still no Barry or Bobby Bowe. I used to love those 2 cards. All-Star team card, Fernando Valenzuela. He was a sensation when he broke onto the scene back in the early 80s. His rookie card's 81. I'll have to do another box of 81 one of these days. Ryne Sandberg, former MVP card, along with Dave Parker. Parker had a great career. Next box, or next pack, I should say. Chili Davis, Rick Russell, former Bucko, and Rick Rhoden. So, a couple Ricks, no Barry. Next pack, let's see what we got here. Buddy Bell, Ted Simmons. I'm going to probably start to pick up the pace a little bit and gloss over the commons. Andre Dawson, Hall of Famer. I like Andre Dawson. He was always a great player, nicknamed the Hawk. All right, let's see. Chuck Finley, that's his rookie card. Pedro Guerrero, my brother liked him a lot. All right, let's see here. Donnie Moore. For those of you who know about Donnie Moore, his life ended tragically. We won't talk about it, though. Mike Schmidt, Hall of Famer. I like Mike Schmidt. His rookie card, 1973 Topps. That's one of my favorite cards in my collection. I'd probably rank that up there in my top 20 cards. I got a PSA graded Mike Schmidt 73 Topps card. Don Mattingly, Ray Searage, Pirates Petticoats. There's our first good rookie card, Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin's a Hall of Famer. Very nice. Got the Larkin, Darren. Man, lots of guys whose lives ended tragically. Bo Diaz, Eric Shaw. I mean, we've talked about them on the channel before, but this is kind of like a somber pack here. Gary Carter, another guy who passed way too early. Phil Necro, Hall of Famer. Also, Carter, Hall of Famer. All right, let's see here. Next pack. See if we can pick it up a little bit and find a Barry Bonds. Steve Carlton, Will Clark. This card was a hot card back in the day. I was looking at a couple old Beckett's, just kind of trying to find the oldest one, and this card was going for $16 or so in 1989. There it is, Barry Bonds, and dang it! It's got a printing error. It's got a printing error. So what you can see here is this Bonds is in great shape. The card-wise, it's corners are nice and sharp and everything. The problem is it's got a little bit of a bleed here to it. I've noticed this with a few cards. Little bit of I don't know what the deal was, something with the ink or whatever, but that really stinks. Sorry, Darren. I mean, we got the card, but I would not get this graded, unfortunately, just because you can see the lines there. I'm sure, I don't know how PSA would grade that. I don't know if they'd put a qualifier in there or not, but yeah, that really stinks. Hopefully we can find another one. Darren's got another spot in box 2, so I'm hoping that it pays off and maybe you'll get another one, but the corners look really, really nice on this card. This would have been pretty nice to send off and get graded, possibly. But we got a printing error, Barry Bonds. I noticed that with a few cards, was worried about that, and of course, it frickin' comes to fruition. The one card that I wanted to pull today has those lines. You can see this card also has a couple of those little lines in it. It's been about one card per pack or so throughout this box. All right, last pack. Maybe Darren will get a Bo Jackson. Okay, let's see here. Wally Joyner, that's his rookie card. You get a B-list rookie card. Chet Lemon, Gary Redus. It's a nice Mets team card there. And Goose Gossage and Dave Schmidt. So you got the Barry Bonds. We found Barry. Unfortunately, a little bit of an asterisk with that Barry Bonds card. Now we're going to do the bottom right pack. This is for James J. So we already got our one Bond. Maybe we'll find a second Bond. Sometimes you get lucky. Find two or maybe even three of the same card. We might notice we see some duplicates coming up here. Ricky Henderson. There's a nice one. Carter and Clemens. Who we got here? Dave Magadan rookie card. Bruce Bochy. He's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure. Boch, Hall of Fame manager. All right, next pack. Got a Barry Jones with those freaking lines on it again. I don't know if you can see it there. It's more noticeable in person, I've noticed. Looking at the camera, it's not as noticeable, but when you see these cards, you hold them in your hand, it definitely stands out. Lee Smith is a Hall of Famer. See, this one's got those freaking lines too. Roger Clemens, All-Star card. If you're wondering about the back of those, here's what the back looks like. It's kind of like gives you a little bit of info about their season. Dave Winfield, Robin Yount, pretty nice couple Hall of Famers there. These are always cool at the bottom too, how it gives you the hot zones. You know how they have hot zones on like MLB The Show with the red boxes. I always thought those were pretty neat. All right, our next pack here, we got Firemen, closers from 86, top closers. Steve Garvey was a pretty decent player for a while. Had a nice long career. Nothing in that pack. I wonder if these stickers still stick. I know that sometimes the stickers lose their stickiness after being in these packs for, I don't even, like how long, 30 plus years. All right, let's see here. Eddie Murray again. So we're starting to get some duplicates now. Oftentimes, also, we'll notice that the same cards are in the same pack. Like, I bet you if we find another Cal Ripken Jr., there's going to be a Ryan Sandberg right behind it. That was kind of another hallmark of the junk wax era. So we'll see. Kirby Puckett. Harold Reynolds again. That's our second Reynolds. Checklist. Lou Whitaker. Another one of these guys. Eddie Murray. So we're getting some of the same cards that we pulled in the first stack. Next pack. Tony Perez again. Alan Trammell again. I think those were literally separated by one card last time. Also Bruce Sutter. Tommy John again. All right, we've got 3 packs left in box 1. Still haven't found a Bo Jackson or Jose Canseco rookie card yet, so we'll keep an eye out for those going into box 2. Also, I'd like to find a nice, clean Barry Bonds rookie. There's another Nolan. Another Steve Lyons. Already seen most of these cards, so we can kind of shuffle through them a little quicker. All right, let's see here. Mike Schmidt, All-Star Team card. These are pretty cool. 6 of 12, so 12 cards in that set. We've already pulled like 5 of those, so that set wouldn't be that tough to put together if you bought a couple boxes. Sure, those cards are probably worth 50 cents to $1 or so for the good ones. Common ones are probably worth just about what a common card would go for, which is not very much. This is our last pack here from this first box, and we ended off with a Rafael Santana. We did find the Barry Bonds, but it's not the Barry Bonds that I wanted to find. I mean, I did want to find that card, but I wanted to find a very nice mint Barry Bonds. I mean, the card was in great shape and everything, but had those printing lines on it. So we're going to go over here to box 2. I bought 2 of these boxes. We've got some more folks that were generous enough to sponsor and basically pay for the box. It's always a nice little thing because whenever I used to do these videos, people would always ask me, can I buy the cards or how can I buy those cards? So works out this way pretty nice. I put them on my Patreon page. I think this one sold out in, I think it took 10 minutes this time. All right, box 2, and I'll show you the cards on the bottom at the end. First up, let me just move this over here. We got Andrew M. from the top left. He's going to get all these. Let's hope we find a Barry Bonds. Still haven't seen the Bobby Bonilla yet either. That Bobby Bonilla for a while used to be worth, I think it was worth more than the Bonds, actually. It's got a weird little indentation on that one. Yeah, Barry Bonds didn't really start to take off until around 1990-91. He had a pretty nice 88 season. He struggled in 89, and then he really came into his own. Ended up winning 7 MVPs. Of course, a lot of you hate Barry Bonds just because he broke some hallowed records. All-time single-season home run record holder was 73 in 2001. Also, the all-time career home run leader was 762 home runs. Broke Hank Aaron's record. So a lot of people aren't happy about that just because the whole Balco thing and PEDs and stuff. So a lot of people don't consider Bonds to be the true record holder, which that's fine if you feel that way. I still feel like Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. Put a big asterisk with him if you want. Todd Worrell again. But he was the best player that I ever saw play. And the Hall of Fame is, after all, a museum. It's not like we're, letting him into heaven or something. He's a terrible person for that. So I don't know. I would like to be able to tell my kids about Barry Bonds and, tell them the whole story. I wouldn't just say, greatest hitter I ever saw, Barry Bonds. I would, mention how he cheated Bob Walk, Reggie Jackson. That's the first time I've seen Reggie Jackson in this release. Jose Canseco. That's a nice one. 87 Fleer rookie card. He's also an 86 Fleer update, but a lot of people consider this to be his rookie card just because it's in the first main release base set. It's a nice one. Jose Canseco. Check out the back of the card there. 33 home runs and 86 on his way to becoming a superstar. And then he turned the baseball world upside down when he released the book Juiced, when he basically said that, a majority of major leaguers were using steroids and performance-enhancing drugs. There's a Bobby Bonilla rookie card. So now we're getting into some rookies. I used to love this card, Bobby Bo. And that's his rookie card. Now it's worth, like 40 cents. But Bobby Bonilla, every year on July 1st, he's still getting paid $1 million from the Mets. Had a really awesome clause in his contract where he deferred a bunch of money. And Bobby Bo, another former Bucko. He bounced around for a little bit after that, went to the Mets. I think he also played with the Orioles. Who else? Marlins, Cardinals. But I used to like Bobby Bo a lot. I think he was the first signature I ever got on a ball. At least the first one I remember. Went to Pirate Fest. He signed the sweet spot Bobby Bo. He was the best player that was signing back then. I think also it was like Mike LaValliere was signing with him, and R.J. Reynolds and Jim Leland. I used to love that ball. Still have it somewhere. Have to dig that out and show that one of these days. All right, let's see if we can find another Barry Bonds that is in good shape. A nice thing about this box, I haven't noticed any of those crazy printing lines, which is good. In the other box, I was seeing a few of them, like one per pack on average. So this is a pretty clean box in terms of printing. Andy Van Slyke, Cardinals card, one of my favorite players growing up. Haven't seen that card yet, at least from the other box. Harold Baines and Juan Bonilla. So that's it for Andrew M's packs. Next, let's go to John A. Top right. Pull the top right out. See if John A. can have better luck this time. He had that first top left stack in box one. Didn't get anything too crazy. All right, let's see what we got here. Wally Joyner rookie card again. Bob Kipper. It's that Mets team card. Goose Gossage was in there as well. Next pack. Bruce Bochy's on the back. Another checklist. Mickey Tettleton. It's a pretty good power hitting backstop. Eric Davis, of course. A lot of people liked Eric Davis back in the 80s. He was a slugger for a while. His rookie card's 85. Ricky Henderson. One of these days I'm going to have to do drop that Roger Clemens. Do a box of 1980 tops. Problem is it's always so dang expensive. They want I think $2,000 for a 1980 tops box. Really, the only card in there worth anything is that Ricky Henderson. All right, let's see here. The next pack, looking for a Bo Jackson. Haven't seen Bo yet. And still not seeing Bo. Another Winfield and Yount back-to-back, like I mentioned. The order of these cards, the way they were cut from the sheets, pretty predictable. If we find a Cal Ripken, we'll know Ryan Sandberg's right after. I just remember that because those two guys were two of my favorites. Mike Schmidt. That's about it from that pack. Next up, Bo Diaz again. Gary Carter again. Bo and Gary were in the same pack last time, as was Phil Niekro. Chuck Finley rookie card. Steve Sachs. He's an analyst for MLB Network. Also appeared on The Simpsons in that episode that featured a bunch of all-stars like Darryl Strawberry and Ken Griffey Jr. Tony Fernandez. Can't believe The Simpsons is still around. Eric Shaw, Don Mattingly. Barry Larkin rookie card. Already saw that one. Really want to find another Barry Bonds. I wonder if it's going to be in the bottom left again for Darren. If it is, I hope it's in good shape this time with no printing error. At least this one. Every now and then you'll see these little like white bubbles on these cards, which is another just kind of printing anomaly. Those are kind of annoying. I used to see them a lot more in like 90 tops especially. There always seem to be a bunch of those little bubbles on 90 tops. Don't see them too much in 87 Fleer, but I've noticed a couple here and there, not too many. All right, second to last pack for John. Let's see if we can find anything new. Pretty much the same cards we've already seen. Last pack. Sid Bream. Okay. Really nothing new for John. It's Ryan Sandberg again. I always like to give the cards a smell test also, especially from this era. If you give them a nice sniff, you can see if they've been subjected to mildew or not. Usually some of these cards end up in basements or garages, and that's when these cards can get damaged. I'm just absorbing that moisture. These cards, when you get these cards, guys, give them a smell test. These smell pretty good, like they've been, I don't know, in someone's closet or something. They smell new. So that is good. I always hate when I buy a box and it smells very mildewy. It makes me kind of mad. If I ever go to a card show and buy junk wax like this, I always give it the sniff test. My wife thinks that's weird, but got to do it. You don't want to buy mildewy cards. Kirby Puckett again. Cal Ripken Jr. So we know who's right after this, right? Ryan Sandberg. Yep, there it is. Just making a point about the, not a lot of variation. So if you could kind of figure out what card was on the front or back, I guess you can't see on the front because they have those stickers. But if you could tell on the back, it's kind of tough because it's like folded over twice. I don't really think you can see that well. Back then, of course, it was easy to pack search because people would just take out the good cards and then they would reseal it. These packs were very, very easy to reseal. That's why whenever I buy these wax packs from this era, I always make sure that I buy authenticated boxes just to make sure that we're not getting any previously searched boxes by, guys that would like be all super careful and like take it apart like that and then like make sure all the folds are like all perfect so they can put it all back. Just put a little bit of wax on there and close it up. This is what they would do. Then they'd like go through and find the best card, which hopefully it's a Barry Bonds so we can send it off to Justin. Like George Brett, if he was worth a bunch of money, take him out, put in some freaking like bum card like Brooke Jacoby. Then they'd like put it all nice and back like this and be all careful. And they'd like seal it back up. They would be much more careful than I, and then boom, throw it back in the freaking box and resell it without the good cards. That happened a lot back in the 80s, unfortunately. So I've noticed that sometimes when I bought boxes, it was clearly searched. Put that George Brett back with his family right there. All right, next box. Rick Dempsey with a nice big circle on it. Little printing anomaly again. Bobby Witt, Billy Hatcher. I already talked about him a little bit. Billy Bean, Steve Sachs. Next pack. Got a Richard Dawson on the back. Ernie Witt on the front. Oral Hershiser, Howard Johnson, couple stars from the 80s. Darnell Coles, he hit 3 home runs in a game once. And, again, no Bonds. No Jackson either. I wanted to show you the Bo Jackson rookie card. Got pretty much everybody else except for that Bo Jackson, Pete Rose. Can't remember exactly what card was right before the Barry Bonds. Looks like one of my kids is coming down here. It's my 4-year-old. Must be looking for one of her siblings. All right, Gary Gaetti. There's another Eddie Murray, Tony Pena, Bob Shirley. Still no Barry Bonds in this box. Only about 10 packs left to go on this Throwback Thursday. Don Sutton. Eckersley again. Roger Clemens with that little printing thing on there, little white dot. Last one for Justin. Let's see here. And this one, that wax came open way too easily. Nothing in there. Last stack. This one is for Darren. Darren has a Barry Bonds, but again, like you saw, unless you fast forwarded through the video and missed it, it had a printing error. All right, here we go. I want to be able to show a nice, clean Barry Bonds and not the one with the little lines on it, but it is what it is. Candelaria, Steve Buechele, Don Mattingly, that's a nice card. All-star team. Rob Deere used to strike out a ton, but also hit dingers. Darren Dalton, solid player back there in the early 90s. Terry Francona, Indians manager, just signed an extension. Next pack, Kevin Mitchell. 4,000 strikeouts, Steve Carlton card. I'm starting to get worried that we're not going to find another Bonds. Well, at least we found one. Unfortunately, there's usually some kind of, issue with some of these older wax boxes. Not as bad as the 81 Donruss. Nothing will ever be that bad. If you haven't seen that video yet, I think I call it the worst box ever. We got most of the cards out of 87 Fleer, just missing a clean Bonds, and also we're missing that Bo Jackson. Doug Drabick, that's his rookie card, 1991 NL Cy Young Award winner. Father of Kyle Drabick, who blew his arm out, and I haven't heard anything about him since. That was a few years ago. Ken Griffey Sr., that's Junior's dad. Oh, Tony Gwynn, we haven't seen him yet. That's the first Tony Gwynn. Jim Rice. Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer. Lee Smith, another Hall of Famer. Only 3 packs left on this Throwback Thursday. And Paul Molitor. I think that's the first time we saw him. Jack Morris. Some of these lesser value Hall of Famers. Still great players, but their cards aren't worth that much unless it's their rookie card. Even Jack Morris rookie card you can get for very cheap. My brother picked up a Jack Morris rookie card for 10 cents out of the 10-cent box in pretty good shape. I usually find that card, Jack Morris 78 tops, usually 50 cents, upwards to $1. And we're down to our last. There it is, Bo Jackson. Very nice. Okay, I was getting worried that we weren't going to see the Bo. This card was a very hot card back in the day, along with that Will the Thrill Clark. Bo Jackson. I don't know if you would want to get a Bo Jackson graded or not. It's still probably, like, you get a PSA 10 on that. You could probably sell it for, I don't know, 50 to 60, 70 bucks. I'm just looking over the PSA 10 recently sold. The Barry Bonds just kind of like leads the list the whole way down. But Bo Jackson, that is a nice one. He was a major star of the late 80s before, of course, getting injured playing football, and never quite recovered, never regained his star status, just kind of lost the ability to be that all-around 5-tool player. But he was awesome. Everybody loved Bo Jackson back in the day. Congratulations, Darren, on the Bo. You got the Bonds, you got the Bo. I'd like to get you a nice clean Bonds, but we'll see what happens here. Last pack. You got another Will Clark. Or we got another Will Clark. Will the Thrill. There it is, Barry Bonds. We got it. Last pack magic. Barry Bonds. Thank you. Darren, I was worried that you were going to get that crappy misprint Bonds, And we got a very nice, crisp Barry Bonds fresh out of the pack. Let's check it out. Barry Bonds, there it is. Love that card. Of course, sometimes if you watch Fan Mail Fridays, I do tend to get lots of Barry Bonds rookie cards. I do collect Barry Bonds rookie cards. All of them, 87 Don Russ Fleer Tops, 86, Fleer Update, Tops Update. Love getting Barry Bonds cards, his rookie cards, even though, of course, he has the whole PED thing. He's the best hitter I ever saw. Check out the back of the card there again. So you can check that one out. It's a heck of a lot better than the misprint Barry Bonds rookie card. We got it. I don't even really care about the other cards in here, but I guess you guys might. So just a bunch of commons. Well, Gary Carter's not really a common. He's a Hall of Famer, so respect to Gary. But we got 2 Barry Bonds out of the 2 boxes. I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. If you did, please make sure you subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment down below. You can maybe tell me what you want to do for next Throwback Thursday, and I will take your responses into consideration. I usually buy these during the weekend, so I'll probably find something this weekend to buy, so it's here for next Thursday. So thanks once again for watching, everybody. And I almost forgot, and I noticed it when I was editing the video, that I forgot to show you the bottom of the boxes. I did say that I would show you these cards, but basically you would just cut these out and try to cut them as cleanly as possible to make it look like it was a real card, but I never could. Every time I tried, it was always obvious that I did it by hand and it wasn't a professional job. And there's what the back of those cards look like. So now I'll see you all tomorrow.